So people are still easily triggered by the Green Party. People are still easily upset about the Green Party and its impact in this election cycle. And unfortunately, many people are still in the mindset of, well, okay, let's keep on blaming Jill Stein and the Greens. But Jill Stein did leave a comment at the end. She actually gave a closing statement on Twitter. Now, of course, she'll keep on posting more, but she gave a long, detailed paragraph about this election, and a long statement about overall what can we learn from it. But first, I got to bring up everyone's favorite monster. You know him, you love him, John Fetterman, who wrote, Pennsylvania is going to count every last vote. That's not controversial. That's the law. Also, green dipshites votes helping elect the GOP. Well, if anyone wants to vote Green Party, it's their right to do so. But we actually got to listen. Here's what I found funny. Elon Musk wrote this: calling green voters dipshits is not a great way to win them over. Makes perfect sense to me. I mean, that's right. Name calling doesn't help out at all. You know, it doesn't help out. It doesn't gain any momentum. It doesn't work at all. And I want to pull up this tweet right here because we here at Hardlands Media actually responded. Name calling never works. Democrats will never learn. And of course, here's what Jill Stein had to write. Dr. Jill Stein, once again, the two-party system has delivered a disastrous result for the American people. Now we must continue the uprising for people-powered politics and demand the world we deserve, which will never be delivered by the twin parties of war and Wall Street. The Democrats have no one but themselves to blame for losing to Trump again, after the decades of failure and betrayals that paved the way for Trump's rise in the first place. From the unconditional support for the endless war machine and genocide in Gaza, to their subservience to Wall Street, to their indifference to human rights, to their reckless acceleration of the fossil fuel pollution driving climate collapse, to their assault on democracy on all these issues and many more, the Democratic Party has betrayed the trust of the people. This election removes any remaining doubt that the Democratic Party has utterly failed the people it claims to represent, and that we need genuine opposition party for people, planet, and peace. Over the last year, we have continued our long-term efforts to build a movement for peace, for a livable planet, and for all the countless millions of people in America and around the world who have been neglected and abused by the parties of war and Wall Street. The momentum we achieved, despite the pervasive media blackout threatened by the Democratic Party, so much that they set up an unprecedented operation dedicated to the suppression of our grassroots movement. And we covered that on how third parties were being removed from the ballot and being denied a chance to be on a debate stage. And I gave this open challenge to people like AOC or Kamala Harris. If you are so confident about how worthless the Greens are, debate Jill Stein, destroy her on a debate stage. Do it. Challenge her. Unless you're afraid. Hey, folks, let's have democracy in the chat. Did the Democrats, did they did they debate Jill Stein? Type 1 for why? Yes, they did so in their own way. They didn't have to debate her in person. Type 2, no, they were never going to do it. All their attacks were just projection, and they were weak. They were scared. They were never going to do it at all because they have nothing. I wonder how many 2s will be in the chat. I wonder. I don't rig my elections. I make sure they're clear. They harassed us with expensive lawsuits, God, to kick us off the ballot, marginalized and smeared us in the media, posted job-seeking people to sabotage our campaign, and even launched attack ads against us, something they've never done before for any independent challenger. These unprecedented attacks against us by the corrupt political establishment backfired madly. These attacks inspired a whole new multiracial, multi-generational coalition of voters, organizers, and activists to join forces with the Green Party, and that coalition will continue to grow. I hope, Greens, because in 2016, you guys started off with a bang and ended in a whimper. I hope that your leadership is willing to adapt and change. I hope that your leadership is willing to build infrastructure. I hope so. I've heard this kind of talk before, and then it evaporates. That's my criticism of the Green Party. I know so because me and Daniel covered it. We covered a lot of Green Party events here in Illinois and in Indiana. Let's just say it left much to be desired for. Our campaign built relationships with powerhouse anti-genocide activists, especially in the Muslim and Arab American community, the Black community, the student movement, and the reawakened anti-war movement. Be careful of people who will sabotage you from the inside, because now all the activists, hacktivists, are back again. the radical labor movement, and many others. Year after year, millions of eligible voters have refused to vote for either establishment party, particularly young people, people of color, and people of lower income. In the 2020 presidential race, a full third of eligible voters declined to participate. These are exactly the people our agenda speaks to. The vast majority of voters are calling for a political alternative like the Green Party that serves the greater good instead of the warmongers and economic elites. The political establishment is quaking in their boots that the public is discovering us. They will be shocked to see how much our coalition grows as more voters discover they actually have a choice for the future they deserve. In order to do that, Jill Stein, and I say this as constructive criticism, the Green Party, in cooperation with the Libertarian Party and any other independent third parties that are out there in this country, y'all are going to have to work together and build up the financial resources so that you guys can legally be on the ballot and also make a case to be on the debate stage. Now's the time to start building and preparing for the wars to come. The midterm election cycle, 2026, and then 2028. Are you going to build something up? Because you guys need to be ready for all the legal lawsuits, all the legal challenges at the state level, at the federal level, to actually get on the debate stage. That's what's going to have to happen. Continuing on. We have the solutions to end genocide and empire, to adopt a foreign policy based on international law, human rights, and diplomacy, tackle the climate emergency, to reverse wealth inequality, and invest in human thriving, to dismantle systems of oppression and build a society rooted in justice, freedom, and equality. Our equity, sorry about that. Our movement for people, planet, and peace is aligned with the values of priorities of the American people, and together we have the numbers we need to transform our future. We only have to get the word out to the millions of Americans who reject the failed status quo and bring them into our movement. Everything we have achieved together is a victory for working people, for justice, for peace, and a future where all of us can thrive. Thank you for your unwavering support and for joining us in this fight to build an America and a world that works for all of us. We only get stronger from here. The pressure to continue to build for the political transformation that the American people demand, the political elites will continue to tell you that resistance is futile. Ignore them. This is our movement. Together, we are unstoppable. Again, the only way you're going to keep people excited is if you keep on maintaining your momentum. The Democrats have no one to blame but themselves for losing to Trump after decades of failures and betrayals. This year removes any doubt the Democratic Party has failed the people it claims to represent, and we need genuine opposition party for people, planet, and peace. In which I have to say, yes, these all sound great. But will you have the follow through? And that's what I want to ask the Greens, because the Green Party, you had some momentum after the Bernie Sanders campaign in 2016, and then it fizzled away. And I don't know what the hell Holly Hawkins was doing in 2020, but that was absolutely mediocre and abysmal. And while I am excited about, and we did cover all the coverage of the third parties in the 2024 election cycle, third parties still disappointed. All right, there was no real solid plan. And for the next election cycles, there has to be a solid plan. Otherwise, Green Party, you too will also be extinct. And I don't say this to be mean. I say this as constructive criticism because I've seen you guys talk this game before. On the one hand, yes, I do agree. You guys did build a strong coalition. How do you continue to expand it and make sure that people will hear your voice? That means using social media, getting on the ground, actually doing outreach, preparing yourselves for all the local, state, and federal elections that are going to be coming up for the next election cycle and eventually for the 2028 election cycle. People need to be prepared for this, and the Green Party needs to adapt and overcome. The Green Party needs to remain energetic. You have to raise up enthusiasm. And yes, you have to build up your war chest for the legal battles that will be coming down the road. If not, you're just talking a big game. And as much as I love those words that she wrote, and they are on point, if you're not ready to fight, then you're wasting everybody's time. And now's the time to capitalize on it, because you have Democrats right now that are blaming you for your entire loss. And the thing is, or for their entire loss. And the thing is, even if the Greens voted for Kamala, it still wasn't going to change anything. So Green Party, you have a lot of things working in your favor. Will you use them to your advantage? That's the question I want to know, because I was disappointed before.
When you are not with where majority of Americans are, then, that is extreme. That is an extreme way of thinking.
Hoped you would never find out, knew that you had to know. Pulling what's left of my mind out, trying to tell you so. I've tried to block the light out, knew you could feel its glow. I've been here holding my hands out, trying to keep you close. Trying to keep you I really want to set you free, but I really want to let you be. And a part of me wished I could set myself aside, just let you take the ride, just chalk the rest up to destiny. I could let you believe that the only restraints in life are the size of your dreams. Let you believe each kid grows up with the world at their feet. When I know too well it's open season, I know they're taking stock and raising stocks and raising stock. And I'm simply not here to sit and watch as you learn the lesson all cogs are taught. Keep your head down and keep to task and just keep on blocking the rest of it all out. Just keep on with the rest of the herd of a million adjacent oblivious workers. The forest unseen for the trees, and the trees unseen for the fallout. No, what's more damning, baby, the truth or the ignorance? Fuck it, I honestly wonder if I see the answer so well. Baby, believe me well, I know it's scary, I scare myself. If I could find a way out of my head, I would run like hell. I would ditch this body politic, mindless occupant somewhere far from the dismal abyss. In the tranquil crystalline bliss of the beach, I could rest with the rest of the shells. And if anyone asks I'm anywhere else, if I'm really needed, just light the candle, then read the book, and then ring the bell. Oh, my untarnished heart, my little perfect soul, this world will melt your mercy down so they can sell its gold. This world will take your worth and then demand 1,000-fold. It's full of greedy pigs who'll eat you out of house and home. They'll strip your bank account and sweep you somewhere down the road, and then return to eat your tent and shitty bike you rode. Your bottled water, only shoes and coat and broken phone. Then smiling in your face, they'll tell you that the shelter's closed.
When you are not with where majority of Americans are, then, that is extreme. That is an extreme way of thinking.
Hoped you would never find out, knew that you had to know. Pulling what's left of my mind out, trying to tell you so. I tried to block the light out, knew you could feel its glow. I've been here holding my hands out, trying to keep you close. Trying to keep you Oh, my untarnished heart, my little perfect soul. This world will melt your mercy down so they can sell its gold. This world will take your worth, then demand 1,000-fold. I tried to block the light just so I could keep you close.